Hey Sagittarius, welcome to a random tarot card reading. And by random, I mean I'm going to let the cards decide what we're talking about. Love, education, career, that job you've been trying to go for, whatever it is, we'll see how the cards lay out here. I do want to say that we're going to do this through the lens of Greek mythology using a Greek mythological tarot card deck. So we're going to talk about the stories in Greek tarot, or Greek history, rather, using this tarot. And by the way, you have a lot of really good energies like success and recognition. This is really neat. But when we look at these Greek stories, we can pull them out of the macrocosm of their existence. There's another power card here. And into the microcosm of your existence to see how your life could relate to that situation that's going on in your life. So let me read out who we've got here. We've got Hermes, Polyhymnia, Diogenes or Diogenes, Pheme, Aether, and Achilles. It's interesting because I feel like this is a reading for somebody who does some kind of routine in their life that might be more of a spiritual nature or something perhaps that goes against regular social values. Because at the heart of this reading, we have concepts of meditation. We have concepts of a routine, something in your day-to-day life, as signaled by this card. And then Diogenes or Diogenes is about whether or not people accept your social values. So I feel like there's almost a job that you want to do or something in your life that you want to do that you don't think other people are going to recognize you for. In fact, if it's not a job, it might be a routine in your lifestyle, such as your health practices, your lifestyle, your eating, or maybe the way that you raise your family. I feel like there are people who have a certain jaded view with the card of Achilles here about sorrow, but also it's connected to poison, a kind of poison that you could get from other people, their frustrations. And if you merge those three together, it starts to look like to me that you have had somebody or people in your life who have disapproved of something that you're doing. Now, the rest of this reading over here with Hermes, Pheme, and Aether, the rest of this reading says keep doing what it is that you're doing. And if you haven't started it yet, but the thing is just in your mind, you've been drawn towards going for a certain project or a way of life, do it. According to this, you're going to get recognition for what it is that you do. This card of Pheme is in the upright position. If you've ever seen some of the Washington D.C. buildings, she's the one on the top with a trumpet blowing her trumpet of recognition and making an announcement. Now, Aether it's almost like connected to the god in certain traditions of everything in origin, which is why on this card the word origin is here. It's like the sky, it's like the air. It's this first spark. There's this spark, I think, that's going to be coming towards you that gets you into this go mode. Because that's what happens here. You start off with Aether, and then everything manifests into being. Now, Hermes is the card of information. It's also the card of guidance. He is a psychopomp, so he takes people from one area, like the underworld, onwards to whichever world they're going to. But he is definitely connected to a few things like information, aside from guidance. This is why I think that between these two, Aether and Hermes, you have some information coming that's going to help you out with gaining this recognition, with implementing this routine also. There may be a question in your mind when you're thinking of this, when you're thinking of how do you accomplish this goal that you have. The question in mind is exactly that. How do you do it? You're like, I want to do this thing. I'm being drawn to this thing, but for some reason, you don't know exactly the steps that are coming that you'll need to get this routine. And I think that information is coming to you. I also think that with this card here of Polyhymnia, that this is about taking it serious. And that is your routine. When whatever information comes in, whether you're working on your health or whether you're working on your family dynamics or the way you spend your money, the thing you're being led to, take it seriously. Like, integrate it as a routine that you are consistent, is the word I'm looking for, that you are consistent for. Have that perspective of seriousness when it comes to this. Let me grab another deck here for a second. This is kind of telling me the situation here, but I want to shuffle just a little bit from the Beast Soul deck and see if we can get any further advice about this. We have the Complex Octopus. Discovering a different version of yourself and the power of the transformation. See, I'm telling you, if this is what it's about. There's some way that you're wanting to live day to day, and other people are not recognizing it, or other people have been feeding into this poison and sorrow that you've had in the past, which have prevented you from stepping into this version of yourself that you want to be. This is like, it sounds very manifesty. But there's a complexity to this, because the complex octopus, well, the octopus in general has all of these different arms that it can reach out for. It reminds me a little bit of the Seven of Cups in traditional tarot, having a bunch of different options, but not knowing which one to reach for first, essentially. And again, this is about information that's going to be coming to you to help resolve that situation. Because if you're looking to reach for something but you don't know and you don't have the information, it's not until you have the information that you can more accurately make that decision to reach for something. Now, the next card we have is the card of the Nimble Bat here. Notice that it says you need to have the courage. It's that thing. I told you, you're being drawn to it. This lifestyle. Is it that you want to be, a travel influencer, or somebody with a different social set? The way that you want to do your parenting, homeschooling, living out in a forest in a little home? What that thing is, it feels like, because again, Diogenes, he lived out of the social norms. This is why I keep talking about something that's out of the usual order of things. He lived in a jar. In the middle of a marketplace, nonetheless, where everybody was absolutely obsessed with transaction and doing things with business and the social order. Here he was, half of the time he had no clothes on, walking around the city, living in a jar, going to the bathroom wherever he pleased. Very fascinating character. But as crazy as Diogenes was, or Diogenes, the reason he was like this was because he did not believe that social order needed to be absolute, because nature, human nature, and the yearning that we have to be something that we resonate with comes first. Before all of these walls that people build up with buildings and rulers and lawyers and legal systems, before any of that, you tear all of it down and humans come first. Humans want compassion, they want connection, they want fun, they want wanderlust, you know what I mean? So he embodies this. He steps out of the rules that other people try to poison the system with. And I think that's what you need to be courageous about. This lifestyle, or this thing that you're wanting to go after, if the cards are saying be courageous, this different version of you is waiting for you, then do it. Because these are cards that are telling you to take that step, to take the courageous step, to take that change, go into that version of transformation, because there's a benefit to it. If the cards were saying, hey, stop, don't do that, then those kind of cards would come up. But instead, it's consistently telling you that if you implement a certain routine, keep for it, it will insinuate and instill in you, rather, a sense of power. More of the information and guidance that you will need by routining yourself and gearing yourself towards the thing that you want, like using that dream that you want as a compass. The more you do that, the more information is going to come out. And to top it all off, you'll get recognized for it. The very people who were like, oh, you wouldn't be able to do this, those are the people who are going to be knocking at your door at some point, letting you know that you did it. So whoever this is for, I think you're well aware of the fact... That's my son, by the way, don't mind. I think you're well aware of the fact that you're wanting to transition into something new. You just have to have the courage to do it. I think my son is about to do something and climb all over my desk here. Anyways, you guys have what it takes. You just need to have the courage. That's what these cards are talking about, essentially and ultimately. So I'm going to leave you off with that. Set up a routine, like use it as your compass, like I said. Whatever it is, use it as your compass and say to yourself, if I wanted to be this person, what do I need to do to get there? And even if you don't have all the answers, take what you do know and instill it as a routine. If what you need to do is educate yourself, if what you need to do is get a license, if what you need to do is find love, to have a family, put yourselves in the places where those things will occur. Sitting in your living room couch or in your basement may not very well be one of those places. If you want love, go to places where you meet people. If you want, travel, start looking up, the ways to get tickets with, I don't know, Uplift or FlexPay, whatever it is that you're trying to do. Things like that. You know what I mean? Instill the routine and you can get it done. I will leave you there, my dears. I'm off now to do the sign of Aquarius and Pisces. Many blessings to you. Also, happy Easter. Happy holidays. It's Easter Monday today. We just had Easter Sunday. So many blessings to all of you out there who are celebrating Easter. I was with my family this weekend, which is why I did not get your video up till now. But I'm glad I can do this here and have this for you. Many blessings. I'll talk to you later, and ciao for now.